Models of coaching and mentoring. Archive model. Achieve is a 7-step coaching model. Dr. Sabine Dembkowski and Fiona Eldridge created it in 2003. They contend that Achieve is the logical progression of the GROW paradigm and that it carefully tracks the growth of a coaching relationship. Assess the current situation, assisting the customer in gaining a comprehensive grasp of their circumstance. Creative brainstorming. Encourage the client to open up and view the issue differently, for example, by asking them, "What would you do if money were not an issue?" Or if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? Hone goals. Helping the client create SMART goals. Since these goals are more likely to be accomplished, it is crucial that they are actually relevant or meaningful to the client. The coach can also assist the client in creating a complete timeline for the objective, including what it will look like, sound like, and feel like after it is accomplished. Clients can assess whether the goal is really what they desire by creating a sensory experience of it. This also provides a benchmark by which they can assess their progress. Initiate option generation, encouraging the client to come up with a variety of possible ways to act in order to accomplish the aim. Evaluate options, assisting the client in weighing their options. Valid action program design, helping the client create a clear action plan that will bring them where they want to go from where they are. This stage of coaching is crucial. Coaches must ensure that the client is committed to the actions, that the assertions are made clear, and that the timelines are adhered to. Encourage momentum. Giving continual customer support will keep them motivated and on track. Laser model. Graham Lee created the laser coaching methodology in 5 steps in 2003. It is crucial to remember that the laser model is a coaching model and is not the same as the laser coaching approach in order to prevent confusion. Lee claims that it is an adaptable framework that identifies the primary tasks. There are 5 stages: learning, assessing, story making, enabling, reframing. GROW model. The GROW model was created by Graham Alexander in the beginning, but Sir John Whitmore popularized it. It is perhaps the most popular coaching model because it only has 4 steps and is rather simple. Goal. At this stage, the client's goals for the session, as well as the overall coaching process, are identified and clarified with assistance from the coach. According to Whitmore, the dream goal, the end goal, the performance goals, and the process goals must all be clear. He also emphasizes the importance of owning these goals as a crucial component of motivation. He contends that goals must be pure, positively stated, understood, relevant, and ethical, and clear, challenging, legal, environmentally sound, appropriate, recorded, in addition to being SMART, specific, measurable, agreed, realistic, timeframe, goals. Reality. In this stage, the coachee is encouraged to investigate their existing reality and form a more dispassionate perspective on it. The root of greater self-awareness is this. As why and how invite opinion, Whitmore highlights the value of employing what, when, where, who, and how much queries in this phase. According to Whitmore, once the current reality is obvious, the aim can be examined, sharpened, or even changed if the current reality proves to be different than anticipated. Options. This stage involves creativity. It involves giving the customer the most possible options, ideally without considering if they are realistic. Negative presumptions frequently constrain our reasoning, for example, "It cannot be done." In this situation, coaches can use hypothetical questions, such as "Imagine if it were possible." Will. This stage aims to turn the conversation into a decision. Whitmore claims that Will has 2 stages. 1. Accountability setup, defining actions, timeframes, and measures of accomplishments. 2. Follow-up, feedback, review and reflect on how things went and on key leadings. A number of coaching models have been developed based on GROW, like the T-GROW model, topic, goal, reality, options, wrap-up, the I-GROW model, issue, goal, reality, options, wrap-up, McKinsey's So I Grow, situation, opportunities, implications, goal, reality, options, and will, and the Mantelizer School of Business 4A model, agenda, analysis, agreement, action. CLEAR model. A 5-step coaching model is called CLEAR. Early in the 1980s, Peter Hawkins created it. The CLEAR model, which is based on the GROW model, adds a new stage called review that enables both the client and the coach to reflect at the conclusion of a coaching session or coaching journey. Contracting, set goals that are in line with the desired outcome, clarify the coachee's needs repeatedly, and agree on the ground rules for the conversation as a whole as well as for the session. Listening, help the client develop their comprehension of the situation and personal insights by using active listening as a catalyst to become aware of the detailed facts and behavioral patterns. Pay attention to both what is being said and what the client is attempting to say. Avoid restricting beliefs, stories, metaphors, and nonverbal cues. A coach can utilize paraphrase or reframing to make the client's remarks more understandable. Exploring allows the client to develop future change alternatives and personal insights about how the situation affects them or others. Action, helping the client determine the best course of action, practice new behaviors, and establish a commitment to subsequent actions. Review, having both the coach and the coachee think on what is working and what is not, as well as what could be done differently in the upcoming coaching sessions. The intervention comes to a close. The core of transformational coaching is the CLEAR coaching model and the 4 levels of engagement. Arrow model. A 5-step coaching model is called Arrow. The coaching arrow is another name for it. The creator of it is Matt Summers. This approach is similarly based on the GROW model, however, after examining the present situation, it adds a new stage called reflection. The Arrow model's 5 steps are as follows. Aims. Reality. Reflections. Options. Way forward. OSKAR model. Solution-focused coaching frequently uses the 5-step OSKAR coaching methodology. It was created in 2007 by Jackson and McCurgo. Outcome. I want you to visualize achieving your objective. What modifications have you noticed in your workplace? You arrived at work today to discover that this issue is no longer an issue. What alterations have taken place? What do you hope to accomplish? Is there ever a situation when the answer is already there, or something similar? What about these periods is different, do you think? Scaling. Where would you rate the current situation on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 denoting the worst it has ever been and 10 denoting the ideal future? Where are you on the scale already if 0 is no achievement and 10 is total goal achievement? What did you do to advance to N at this point? How would you know when you reach 10 plus 1? Know-how and resources. What are your areas of strength? What enables you to perform at N rather than 0 on the scale? What information do you now possess that is useful to you? What tools do you possess? What abilities do you now possess that are beneficial to you? What mentalities do you now possess that are beneficial to you? When does the outcome, even a small bit, already happen for you? What did you do to bring about that situation? How do you manage that? Affirm and action. Your excellent understanding of X has made it possible for you to. Your description of how you responded to the circumstance was good since. Compared to other teams I've encountered in this situation, your team's skill level is far higher. How can you use your resources and strengths to further your objective? Review. Will continuing that productive process enables you to carry out that action? How did you manage to get here? How can you do that more often? Do you believe that changing the current approach would have any further advantages? CIGAR model. Susie Green and Anthony Grant created the 5-step coaching methodology known as CIGAR in 2003. In contrast to other coaching styles that emphasize solutions, CIGAR employs a gap analysis strategy. It is based on Egan's skill helper model, which includes 1. Current scenario, 2. Preferred scenario, and 3. Strategies to get there. Each of these 3 stages comprises 3 sub-stages. 1. Story, blind spots, leverage. 2. Possibilities, agenda, commitment. 3. Strategies, best fit, plan. These 3 stages are frequently utilized in counseling. The CIGAR model's 5 steps are: current situation, ideal outcome, gap analysis, action plan, review. Practice model. In 2007, Stephen Palmer created the 7-step problem-solving and solutions-focused approach known as practice. It is based on Wasik's 1984 7-step method for solving problems. problem identification, goal selection, generation of alternatives, consideration of consequences, decision-making, implementation, evaluation. Positive coaching model. Vincenzo Libri created the 8-step coaching approach known as Positive in 2004. The Grow and Achieve paradigms are its foundation. Purpose: encourage the client to be clear about their expectations for both the coaching relationship and the coaching conversation. Judiciously asking the right questions, paying attention to nonverbal cues, paying attention to body language, paraphrasing, and summarizing to elicit the full account from the coachee. Observations: a balanced, logical, and practical approach is to encourage the client to have clarity on their position and environment. Strategy: it is crucial to turn the goals into smart objectives after the client has clarity on the target, their current situation, and their surroundings. Additionally, it is crucial that consumers establish their own objectives. The coach's responsibility is to make sure that these elements are present. Insight: encouraging the client to think about their goals and the feelings that come to mind when they think about those ambitions. In this stage, it is determined whether the aim is actually what the client wants, whether it is appealing, motivating, and not too demanding. Team: in this stage, the client's support network options are defined. Initiate: the purpose of this phase is to motivate the client to develop their strategy and action plan, and begin the process of putting their goals into practice. Value: in this phase, the major objective will be broken down into more manageable weekly tasks. This guarantees that the client receives regular feedback and monitor development, and can thus recognize and celebrate success. Encourage: during this stage, the client is encouraged to maintain their motivation both during and between sessions. While assisting the client in creating their support system, the coach is crucial to this process. Outcomes model. 8-step model is the outcomes model. Objectives for the session. Understanding: the coach should understand why the coachee wants to reach the objective. Take stock. Clarify. Option generation. Motivate to action. Enthuse and encourage. Support. Mentoring models. One-on-one mentoring. One mentor works with one mentee in one-on-one mentoring. The procedure is individualized, personal, and helpful for forging a strong bond. If the mentor lacks expertise in the mentee's areas of interest, the model might not be able to meet the demands of the mentee. Team mentoring. When several mentors come together to offer mentoring to a mentee, this is known as team mentoring. According to this concept, mentors can find new colleagues with whom to collaborate, mentees can access many points of view, and they can settle disagreements over competing demands or pieces of advice without feeling pulled in several ways. Functional mentoring. This entails a mentoring relationship that is project-focused, where the mentee selects a mentor to help with the development of a particular skill or a pre-established project. For instance, creating a fellowship program, a funding submission, or a well-focused manuscript. Mentoring panel. A mentee may have more than one mentor, and each mentor meets with the mentee separately. This method provides easy access to many mentors and can be a valuable source of counsel and direction for a mentee on difficult matters. Peer mentoring. Peer mentoring is providing guidance from co-workers who are in a comparable stage of their career or who may be a year or two ahead of the mentee. The peer mentoring model is typically less formal than other mentoring methods, which may make it less restrictive. Distance mentoring. Distance mentoring includes mentoring via email, along with occasional phone conversations and in-person meetings. For mentees with mentors in different places, this strategy can be quite effective. This might enhance relationships with others and open up more networking opportunities in the field. Mosaic mentoring. Mosaic mentoring can be understood as a landscape of career mentoring for a single faculty member or as a particular kind of group mentorship. A broad collection of people from various positions, ages, genders, races, abilities, and experiences joined together in a non-hierarchical community for mosaic group mentoring. Collaboration, lowered mental pressure, combining small pools, and success in both gender and minority mentoring are all advantages. Thank you. See you in the next lesson.